What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith as we continue our 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Series. I bring in one of the most dominant, most explosive. Man, if Godzilla was an NFL player, this would be him. This guy's amazing, and he's an even better guy off the field, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome TCU's very own, one of the best Horned Frogs to ever take and do it since LaDainian Tomlinson, Kendre Miller. Kendre, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, man, doing great, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. If you don't mind, take us from the very beginning because you've had one heck of a football journey, man, for coming in, starting this year and everything. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
At a young age, I played like Little League, Pee Wee football, and it was just from there I knew this is like something I wanted to do, like probably for the rest of my life. And you know, it's kind of weird because it was either I was gonna play football or go to the Army because I had like a weird interest in just like, you know, how all the Army things work. So at a young age, I made a decision I was gonna play football. Just, you know, I loved it so much, and I was like super talented as a kid, and so, you know, it just was always football every week. And growing up, it just got, you know, I had more love for the game. And, you know, my family, that's all we do. We live, breathe, and, you know, smell football. So it's always just been football since I was little until now. And then, you know, my parents are big football fans. So the whole fam's in on it. So, you know, just always, you know, felt like a connection with the game. And, you know, being good at it is a plus to that. So, you know, enjoying it that much more when you have success, and it makes it that much better.
I would say, you know, the younger version of you chose correctly because the bag a little bit better in the NFL than the Army. Man, you had a heck of a season at TCU this year, just finishing just a little bit shy of 1,400 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns, man. And I'm looking at your stats, and I'm noticing 0 fumbles throughout your history. That's a big thing, especially when you're trying to make that jump into the league. TCU as a whole had a crazy season this year. Y'all knocked off some big teams, especially towards the end of it, that they said y'all didn't stand a chance at. And you were a big reason why a lot of that stuff came down. So now that we're getting to this next stage, right, preparing for this NFL draft, you're going into the combine. I know you're getting your recovery on, man. What are you doing right now to kind of get yourself prepped for that moment?
Just taking every day serious, the preparation, just embracing it and going to work every day, in and out.
Like us looking at film, because we're all of us are nerds when it comes to college football, NFL. We love football, especially being 5'6" or 5'7" rather. I almost chopped the inch off myself. Like, we know that's something we wouldn't be able to do, right? But saying that to say, looking through your film, and there's really no weaknesses, it seems like, in your game. And this is a very deep running back draft. What would you say sets yourself apart as you're talking to NFL teams? Like, what sets you apart from a lot of the other running backs in this draft?
My carries and my history of college and touches from every other running back in the class is a big value point, and just with me. And I feel like I have like probably like one of the least amount of carries of the running backs that's coming out this year. And I feel like that holds a big value point in my age as well, because I'm pretty young to be in my grade. So I feel like just me overall, I have just overall less carries than everybody, and just what I'm able to do and bring to the table is just going to be a key value point in the NFL.
Less carries, more time is what everybody loves. So I love that.
He said he got plenty of tread on the tires.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely, man. Now, we've seen the man on the field, man, absolutely just have a field day, pretty much have your way against defenses. Give me your best defense. I'll show you Kendre Miller. You've always just done your thing, man. But let me ask you, do you have any pre-game rituals that we may not know about?
I'm a pretty basic person. I keep it pretty simple. You know, I feel like the music to me is probably the biggest thing. On game days, you know, I got my game day playlist. I'm just, you know, listening to NBA Youngboy or something like that, just something to get the blood flowing, get me in that mode. And then really the only thing I do outside of that to, kind of get my body loose and the blood warm, I'll get in the hot tub and kind of, just like get my body loose and my muscles loose and all that. But I don't really do anything just, too special. Pretty simple.
And I'm watching. We talk about your running style, and with your build and stuff. It's a very aggressive running style where you kind of punish these people and make them second guess if they really want to tackle you or not. Your ball carrier vision is pretty elite. At some point, it seems like you've got eyes in the back of the head because you seem to always know where defenders are around you. Is there a certain guy that you grew up watching, or maybe that you're currently watching that you try to pattern your game after?
I've always been a fan of Derrick Henry. He's like, just crazy explosive and powerful, and just how he punishes people and just, kind of makes them look silly. On the other standpoint of that, I'll say I'm kind of like Alvin Kamara-ish in a way, just with the contact balance and how I'm able to just, absorb the hit and keep going. So in those two fields, I feel like I'm just kind of like a mixture of different running backs that play. I don't really have a specific one that I'm just like, I play like him, but like I feel like it's a kind of mixture of a couple.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And I know, like, obviously being a draft prospect, going through college football, it's an elite group of people that get to do that, right? Especially you hear a lot of players in the NFL and college talk about the brotherhood and a little bit of a rivalry. So would you say in your journey, would you say you have some friendlies that you have that are running backs as well that are getting drafted, and people that you're competing against? Because obviously playing football at the level you did, you have to be competitive. So are there anybody you're looking to compete with that you let your draft that getting drafted with, and some friends that you have in that class as well?
Zach Evans, me and him super close. Ever since we was close when he was at TCU. And when he transferred, we talk pretty much like two, 3 times a week on the phone. And, me and him are pretty competitive with each other. And, even now we train at the same facility, Exos in Frisco. So, just being with him every day and kind of the friendship we have and competitive nature we have, I feel like that's the person that I'm competing with, just personally, just because our friendship and bond and how competitive we are with each other.
You talked about, at a young age that it's been football. Well, I can remember, being at a young age and I was like, I'm gonna go to the league too. But when does it like click for you that you could really do this, man? Like you could really have a career, have a life playing football. When did that moment happen for you?
Probably like my freshman year. Okay, I came from a small school. It was a lot of people, telling me like, you get constantly told like you go to a small school, like you're not gonna be able to compete with the type of people in college and the D1 athlete type of deal that was going on. And after a while you get to believe in it. But the first day of pads that we had at TCU, I remember it specifically. I scored on the first play and had a couple more touchdowns in that same day. We had a scrimmage, and it was just that moment right there. I was like, I believe in myself, and I see a lot of potential in myself that I didn't know that was there. And so from that day forward, I knew that I had a chance, but I had to work towards it. And seeing it last year too, just with different runs that I had did. I was like, I could really be something. I just got to keep working at it. And then this off season is when I went, crazy and changed my body and just different things with myself. And, I knew very on, like in the season, what type of season it was going to be. And so, I seen it early in the season. I was like, I'm a prospect in this draft upcoming, and if I'm gonna declare, I gotta do what I gotta do to get to that point.
It's super dope to see all this, and I would ask you this: like, you had a high level of success on a team that was one of the top teams in the country, right? And watching your game, how you run, and again, I think Soup described it perfectly. Like defenders, after a while, some of them games look like they did not want to hit you anymore, right? Which I think every team is looking for. And with that level of success, what would you say keeps you grounded and helps keep you humble? And like, what are the things that help you do that?
That's just like a natural instinct I've always had. I've never like been one of the people who were just kind of like a big head or like any type of that. Like I've always been like humble and like kind of like a quiet person. Just something I've like always been. So uh, just all the success I've had this year, there never has been a time where I was just like, I'm this. Even in media, like all the different things I've always did, I try to keep it pretty simple and humble and stay true to myself because I know where I've came from and who I was before all of this. So just keeping myself humble is not really a big factor to me because it's always been an instinct that I've had in my body.
That's the best way to take and be. I tell you, some people, they have experienced success and it gets to their head and you see just really a decline, not only on the field but socially as well too. So that's fantastic. I got to ask you, you were given an opportunity at TCU and you ran with it. They may have gave you an inch and you took multiple miles, man. That being said, once you get to the NFL, is there a favorite or maybe a preferably an offensive scheme that you prefer to play in?
I'm not really like kind of like big picky person type deal, but I enjoy watching the Chiefs and how they use their backs. And Mahomes is amazing in what he does and how he finds the running backs and like keeps the play going. So to play for the Chiefs would be like amazing. They just won the Super Bowl, and I really enjoy their system of play and how they do everything with their backs.
The NFL has they've had this huge marketing campaign, right, where they keep saying football is family, and we know that you haven't gotten to where you are today by yourself. Is there a particular coach, family, friends that's kind of really helped you get to this moment and prepare for this?
Just my parents. They've been there for day one, and they've always been there in my life. And they're the ones who made all the sacrifices for me to get to where I am now. And so I feel like just my parents. They've always been there to push me since I was little to be the best. And I really feel like that's what paid off because they've always kept my head on straight and just made me a great person outside of football. And just them pushing me and keeping me humble is I'll say it was just them pushing me.
Yeah, that's it's always good to hear the people that are supporting people as they're on their different journeys of life, especially the difficult road that you're traveling that many people don't get to. I got two questions. One of them's a little different than the other, of course, but what do you feel any pressure going into the next level?
I feel like I obviously think that I have the ability to do it. Nothing I'm really too worried about because I know who I am and I feel very confident and I could be an elite factor in the NFL.
NFL teams, when it comes to the interview process, they're doing a lot. Sometimes they call next door neighbors, that they call your parents, they call your high school teachers. They go to such extremes to get to know who's going to be on their team. Sometimes a little bombarding, if you ask me. But that being said, what's something you want NFL teams to know about you that maybe perhaps they may not know already?
I feel like I would like them to, just take a deep dive, as I know they will, and just find out how much of a hard worker I am and like how great a person I am. I haven't had any off the field issues or never been in trouble. So I feel like once they take a deep dive in my background, I've been clean my whole life. So just them seeing that, I feel like it'll be a great draft boost in my projection and just help me out in the long run of this draft process because I've always been a great person with great parents who always kept my head on straight, so that they've kept me out of trouble and just kept my head on.
I got one more question for you. It's let's fast forward in time, right? Draft day's come and gone. You're on the squad now. It's season's getting ready to start. Talk to me about what does year one look like for you, man? What are some goals that you have at the next level?
One of the goals I have is making an impact would be making the Pro Bowl. that's one of my goals early on, and maybe like a offensive rookie of the year. Them are the two big goals for me that I feel like that are very like reasonable, and I feel like I can definitely bring and take on.
Awesome, brother. We're looking forward to seeing you accomplish those goals.
Absolutely. Kendre, man, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, join us on the Touchdown with Doug Smith podcast, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have, if you go down the descriptions video, I'm gonna have all social media stuff down there below. The legend, it just continues, and it's only gonna get better from here, man. So Kendre, man, thank you so much, man.
Oh yeah, appreciate y'all for y'all's time and having me on the show today.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Before you go, any shout outs?
I want to shout out my parents. I love them dearly, and thank y'all for everything y'all done for me.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Kendre Miller. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.